how's it going? This is the S1 Intel Mini PC by Acemagic. It's their smallest PC I've gotten from them so far. You're not going to be gaming a whole lot on this thing, so make sure that's not the main reason you're getting it. It has great specs for the size, it would be good to use as a server, and it handles creative tasks really well. So if you do a lot of office type work, this is going to be a good fit for you. As with all of my PC reviews so far, this entire video has been shot, recorded, and edited on this PC, and this time it's in 4K. I received this for free to review to help you make a more informed decision before picking it up for yourself. Real quick, let's touch on the specs. Here's the DX Diag, 16 gigs of RAM, has an Intel Alder Lake-N95 processor. It's 4 cores. This is definitely a lower end build, and I think the price fairly reflects that. Shared integrated graphics, which handles 4K 60 FPS video playback, video editing, photo editing, stuff like that, completely fine. This entire video will be edited on this PC. Despite the low end specs, it's still performing really well on creative tasks. So if you're going to use this thing as like an entry-level creative workhorse, it's definitely possible. You're not going to be doing a whole lot more than basic editing though, and make sure you're editing with low-resolution proxies. Most of the time you buy a PC and it's filled to the brim with bloatware that no one asked for and no one wants. Acemagic is actually really good about not including any of that kind of stuff. This is everything that comes pre-installed, and besides all the default Windows 11 apps, there are only 2 first-party programs that come with this thing. The CYXTFT tool, which controls the LCD panel and gives you some customization options. And then there's the LED control app, which gives you control over the tiny LED strip on the front. But besides that, nothing. Whoever's on board at the design team over at Acemagic, I love them. Their PCs always look cool without being overly designed like an edgy teenage boy drew it. There's a little bit of RGB lighting which you can turn on and off, and it's just very tastefully done in one little narrow strip. One of the more unique features I've ever seen in a PC, honestly, is the little performance display. On the front, there's a tiny LCD display showing you the current power consumption, memory and CPU load, temperature, and fan speed. It makes monitoring performance just a little bit easier. The lighting is customizable as well. You get rainbow, breathing, a color cycle, and then auto, whatever that does. I pretty much just leave mine on auto. You can also control the brightness, the speed which the colors cycle through, or you can just turn the whole thing off. For inputs, you get 2 USB 3, 2 USB 2s, 2 LAN slots, 2 HDMIs, aux, and the DC in. It handles a dual screen setup just fine. It's super easy to upgrade because in true Acemagic fashion, the backplate is magnetic, so you just pop this guy off and there you have your NVMe SSD. There's even an empty NVMe slot so you can install a second SSD, along with your single stick of 16GB DDR4 2600MHz RAM. Yes, one stick. It's a single channel setup, so if there's gonna be a deal breaker for you, that might be it. In my experience though, and having an ungodly number of Chrome tabs open, it's handled everything I've done completely fine so far. The only thing I've seen this PC struggle with is recording in OBS and playing games at the same time. So if that's something you're getting this for, I would recommend looking at one of Acemagic's more beefy builds. You can lay it down flat, or you can place it onto its magnetic base positioned upright. So let's talk about gaming. You can play games. Modern ones, not so much, but if you're gonna play older titles like maybe League of Legends, World of Warcraft, Terraria, stuff like that, anything developed after like 2016, you're gonna be really struggling with. Case in point, let's start with Fortnite. Here's my settings. We're at 720p, and I wouldn't push it much further than that. And pretty much everything's at low. This is pretty much what you get. It's not good. It's not the worst. It is playable. I'm terrible, I'm terrible, I'm terrible, I'm terrible. Can you tell I never play this? So we're looking at a kinda inconsistent 20 to sometimes 40 FPS in gameplay, just depending on how busy the scene is. Next, I'm gonna play Paladins. Does anyone play this anymore? Again, here's my settings. Pretty much everything's on low, and this one's a little bit better. I think a game that's a little bit smaller scale like this is definitely handled a little bit better. And then of course WoW Classic, because why not? It's low with just a couple settings tweaked. And I've gotta say, not bad. It's a, what, 17-year-old game at this point? So if it couldn't handle this, I would be concerned. We're looking at like 30 to 50 FPS just depending on the scene. If there's a lot of players on screen, we're gonna probably be looking at 30, but just general open world gameplay I think is totally fine. You're not going to be playing GTA 5. You're definitely going to be limited to older titles with this thing. Gotta make sure this is clear. If you are buying a mini PC to game on, this is not the one for you. This thing is suited for work, not gaming. Everyday tasks is where this little thing shines. If all you're going to be doing is like browsing, watching videos and movies and stuff like that, dealing with documents, just generally working from home, maybe using it as a server, that's where this machine shines. Basic video editing is smooth and snappy as long as you're using low-res proxies. And here, real quick, let's make the thumbnail for the video with this thing. Cool. Works great. So yeah, this thing is awesome as a work PC. This little guy is made for someone who wants a very low profile machine that they can just place out of sight, out of mind, and do normal everyday tasks and browsing on. So yeah, if you want to pick this thing up for yourself, I have an affiliate link in the description, or you can check out my other Acemagic reviews if this is not the one for you. I also post my original music to this channel. Like and subscribe, and if you have any questions, I'll try to answer them in the comments. Good night.